Let's learn Tensor broadcasting. You can find link to this notebook below. So I'm gonna install Torch, import Torch, and then let's create these two tensors. So this is the first tensor. It's just an array of numbers. And the second one. So now we can add tensors element-wise. So tensor 1 plus tensor 2, we get 1 plus 4 is 5, 2 plus 5 is 7, and 3 plus 6 is 9. And then let's add this tensor 1, 2, 3 to this scalar 4. It's going to be added to each of these elements. So 1 plus 4, 1 plus 2, so 5, 6, 7. And let's see, as you can see, the scalar is broadcasted to the shape of the tensor. So scalar is broadcasted to the shape of tensor. Now let's try adding two tensors with different shapes. So we have 1, 2, 3 and tensor 4. If I do this, okay, so it says you should see an error, but we don't have an error because this tensor is actually automatically broadcasted. This 4 is automatically extended. But what if I add 3 here? Error, yeah. So now this is not automatically broadcasted, and now we need to have the same shape of these two tensors. So before, if you have only one number, then you get it broadcasted like this, just duplicated the number, and then you add each of these. But if you have two numbers, then it's not gonna get broadcasted. Now let's adding two tensors where one of them has a singleton dimension. So you see here that the shape of this is 1, 1. So there is a 1, 1. So let's see. Result tensor 5, 6, 7. So this is also automatically broadcasted. So there is another dimension here, like this. And now I should get the same exact tensor like this if I click. Yeah. So now this tensor is broadcasted like this. But if I add another one of these, then you see how it gets broadcast. Like this gets broadcasted. I think it's gonna be like this. So like this, and then it's gonna duplicate it like here. So it's gonna be 5, 6, 7, and then 7, 8, 9. Yeah. If we take a look at the next example, we see that this tensor has singleton dimension, and then this is just 4. So if I run this, it should also work because now this gets extended like this. Let's see this example. So we have this tensor, and then we have this singleton tensor as well with singleton dimension. So now number 4 is added to all of these, then number 5 is added to all of these, and then number 6 is added to all of these, because this tensor here is broadcasted into something like this. And now you can see that you can add 4 to all of this, 5 to all of this, and 6 to all of this. Now let's see this torch.broadcast tensors function. So we have first tensor and second tensor, torch.broadcast tensor. Let's see what it's gonna do. So if we use torch.broadcast tensor, we pass in this tensor and this tensor, it's gonna see that it needs to extend this tensor and broadcast this tensor to match this tensor to be able to, for example, add. So this is the first tensor, broadcasted tensor, and it's actually the same. And the second broadcasted tensor, it's gonna get extended to 4, 4, 4. And now we have these two tensors and we can do operations with them. Let's take a look at this example below where we have these two tensors that are the same and then this weird tensor. So if I run this, we can see that all three of them get extended. The first one gets extended to match this one. So it gets another dimension and then this gets duplicated to this and this. And now each pair of these, 5, 6, and 7, has one corresponding 1, 2, 3 vector. The second one gets extended to match both this one and this one. So we have 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. And the third one gets each of these gets extended to match this vector. So you're gonna have 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 6, and 7, 7, 7. So like this. You can play with this to understand it better. And then down below, let's see this one. We have float 32 data type and int 32 data type. If we add them normally, it's gonna get converted to float. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. If you are trying to become AI engineer, AI scientist, you can follow my YouTube channel because I'm also trying to learn all of this stuff. See you in the next video.